Hello guys, I'm very excited to show you how my first Solid app works here. You can access a web app by using this link, and this is my first JavaScript programming work and first web app development. So I'm very new and also very new to Solid Pod as well. So if you have any comments or feedback, welcome to contact me. And you can read my code from my GitHub repository. And I also wrote very detailed explanation and about the Solid. I provide a lot of resources and also what you should read to know the Solid, and if you don't have any experience with developing web application and never use JavaScript, I also recommend some tutorial there to just let you know how to start with that. So first of all, I assume you already know what is Solid, and I assume you already have a Solid account. So you can log in with a Solid account to my web application, my Solid application. I give two options to identity providers. Like first one is Erupt.net, the other one is Solid Community. So let's have a look at my Solid account. Show my profile. I already used this for like 2 months, so I have a profile image. I have all the information here already, and I also have my in my preferences. I also have my friends here, like those are people who can read, write, and then pen my Solid pod and for my public information in my pod. Okay, let's try our first function here. Logging my first Solid app by using your Solid account. As you can see that I use Chang as Chang.Erupt.net, so I used Erupt.net as my identity provider, but I also have account from Solid.Community. I use different name there because I want to try different providers and to see what's the difference there. Yeah, but so for now, I'm gonna to log in with my Erupt.net, and then we'll jump to another page asking you whether this address or this application can access your pod. And by default, they're gonna give you give you four options, and normally by default, the first three will be selected. So let's give the access. So you can see your web ID is, this is my web ID. If you're logged with your Solid pod, then you're gonna see your web ID here. And then let's see what's happened here in your Solid pod. So this was the previous information I had for trusted application URL. Let's refresh it and see the preferences. Oh, see, we get a new trusted app here as this one. Yeah, so we successfully give Chang first Solid app access to your pod. Okay, then next let's try the fetch function. So fetch function gonna to read the data from your Solid pod and print it here. So for instance, in my Solid pod, I already have create a document called apptest.ttl. So you see those are information, and if you see the triples, will look like this. And if you want to see the access to who, you can click this lock icon. And then you see I'm the owner and everyone can read but not change any information for this document. And actually that's the function of the public folder. Like all document in the public folder will have everyone as a reviewers, but of course you can change the setting here. Then let's try to fetch this document, right? Okay, then public app test.ttl, and I give two options here. First we can try to fetch all triples here. You see those are the subject and predict, and this is the object. So you can see here those are the information in the document, and this is the information we fetched. And if you only want to know one object, like I don't want to know the whole document, because for some document it's really long document, it has a lot of information there. I only want to know that subject with that predict and what is the object there. So we're going to try this function. We put this subject here, and then we want to know in this document the name, and we click only objects. Then we get Chang returned here. So we fetch the data files from the public folders, right? The public folder, as I mentioned, that you are the owner and everyone can view the content of in this folder. But you see, we also have a private folder, and I also create a document there just for the testing purpose. And let's see the access here. You are the owner, of course, but no one can read and change any information. No one has any access to your private folder. Let's try whether you can fetch the information by using my first Solid app to fetch the information in your private folder. So here we're gonna fetch private dot medical record.ttl, and let's have a look what's in this document. Okay, well, I create some triples here, and it looks like this. I pretend it's my medical record, but I don't have those diseases. I just randomly create it. Fetch all triples. Well, it looks good because we got all information which contains in this medical records triple file. Yeah, so that shows public information and private information all can be queried or fetched by this app. Okay, then let's try next function, create. So here, the create actually is to create a new data file into your pod and then add new triples to that file. Of course, you can select where you want to save this information. I set up the creating function will create a triple file to the private folder, and it will call the health condition triple file.
So first of all, let's see, put in my web ID and let's see whether I have this file in my Solid Pod already. Create a file. And it says, new file, private health condition.ttl is created. Okay, perfect. Let's see whether any new file is created here.
Private. Oh, It's a new file, but I think it's empty, right? It is empty. And if you check the access, you see that you're still the only one. No one can see or change the information for this data file. And now we want to add new triples here.
Age 27, height 1.65, weight let's say 60, and well, diabetes status. Let's say, I don't really remember. Let's see this one. Let's try this one. Got the link here. Okay, well, it should be only the code here, not the whole triple, because I already set up the SNOMAD prefix. Okay, then let's add the data. Oh, your editing is successful.
Okay, let's see. You have to like refresh all the time if you make changes in the Solid. Okay, private health condition triple file. Yeah, you see, that's what we just did. Let's try the function of starting or opening a data request. So this function I designed for the researchers who need some data from people, let's say for researchers who want to conduct a health research and they need data for blood pressure or blood sugar level, whatever, then they need to ask the patients or the Solid users whether they would like to provide those information. So the researchers need to start a request here. As you can see that, first of all, you can check whether you already has the request there. If some requests already exist there, then it will show. If it's not, then the app will create a new request.ttl file in your public folder. And if you don't have any request, you can create a new request there with your purpose, like the text there, and what data. Need to give a valid period, like it's not forever request. It should be, for instance, expire in 1 month, whatever, and then how many participants you need. Let's say 5, 10, hundreds, yeah. And then here I developed two model. One is regular calculation, regular analysis. The other one I call that privacy preserving analysis. The regular one, so far I only build a very basic function that calculate the mean. Let's see, I put explanation here. In regular analysis, participants will register their participation record in a requester pod. So if I have someone saying that I would like to participate in your request, then I will get this participant's Solid ID and when this person agreed, and yeah, some information I will show. And then the participants will give the requester viewer access to the data item or files. And then before the request end date, the requester can read the query data item anytime for their analysis. So in this case, the requester knows who provide data, like who the participants are by their Solid ID. And participants can withdraw their permission anytime they want. They can also modify or delete the data which is requested by the researcher. So which means that the researcher never owns the data from the participants. It's just like participants give the access to the requester, saying that, okay, from today until tomorrow, you're able to see this data and do your analysis. And after tomorrow, you're not able to see that. And I have full control of my data. I can change it anytime I want. Yeah, that's the regular analysis. setting, and the other one is privacy preserving access setting. So the participants will only give the requested data items at the moment when they click participant button. So, which means that if some people view my the researcher's request and they want to participate, but they don't want to show who they are, so the data will be viewed by the researcher, but researcher doesn't know who is this person. The bad side of this setting is that the participant can't modify or delete the data because no one knows who gave this data. Okay, then let's try to create a request here.
Check. Okay, new public request. Triple file is created. Okay, and I want to create a new request there. Let's say purpose calculate average age from participants. And the data URL, I would like to use this one. Copy the link. So I use the existing well-known URI here. And then let's say until the end of this month, and then I would like to see 10 participants. And first I will create a regular calculation one. Your request editing is successful.
Let's see what stored in my Solid Pod. Okay, I have a new triple file here, request. And then in request, everything I just put in the app already stored here, right? Great. And then also what its type is. Let's see the RDF file. And then let's check here. If you click check, it will also fetch the request you just submitted. I would like to create a privacy preserving setting request as well. So
I'm gonna take a privacy preserving calculate, and will be exactly the same, but the date let's change to 20, and I would like to have 30 people, and the mode is privacy preserving. Submitted. Yeah, your request. Adding is successful.
then let's refresh my Solid Pod and then see public request. Okay, I got a new one. So the two requests I just added already stored in my Solid Pod. Okay, we just saw how to submit a request as a researcher, but then how we can participate into this data request. Like for instance, if people or citizens want to provide their data for the scientific research, then how they're gonna do that by using this app. As I mentioned that I have two Solid accounts. One is from inwrapped.net and the other one is from solid.community. So now I log in as Chang 1025 Solid community. Here you see this is my account, the other account, and I have different profile image here, and it's just completely independent account here. Let's see. In the private folder, I already create a health condition triple file which contains my height, weight, and age. Okay, then let's see how to participate in those data requests. So I know, well, Chang is a very good researcher, and I wonder what data she's requesting, and maybe I can participate there if I have those data. So I put in Chang's profile, like web ID and query. Oh, I see, she has two data requests here. You see different request ID. Then let's see if I want to participate in both data requests, let's just try the differences between them. First, I'm going to copy the request ID here and put in here saying that participate. Oh, it says that because I'm very new participant, so I didn't have this participant's triple file before. So the web will create a participants triple file in the private folder for me. All my participants records will be saved in this document. Yeah, your participants is recorded. Please give requester access to your data file. So first of all, let's see what happened in my private folder. I have a new document called participant triple file, and here I have a new records here saying that I agree. I says yes to this. Let's see, what's this request? Yeah, so you see this request is from the other Chang, the researcher Chang, and that's all information about this data request. And I am the participant, and this is a joint action to that data request. And then as it mentioned in the app saying that please give requester access to your data file, which means that I need to give the researcher Chang to my data file here. So I click the log here and then add one person, that's is Chang. Chang in web.net. Every time when you give access to someone, it has to be it's the profile card hash name. And then you see my profile here, and just give the researcher the viewers access will be enough, because they only need to read it. They don't need to change anything. Okay, then for the participants, that's done. You don't need to worry about anything now. So now I'm the researcher Chang. As I did before, I started 2 data requests. One is regular calculate mean, the other one is private calculate mean on the age. And then you see I got a new response from a participant. That is, if we see the triple here, that is CO me, that is this solid community Chang. So that is participants Chang. As a researcher Chang who started a data request to calculate the average age from the participants, I would like to conduct my analysis on the data. So for testing purpose, I only use the 2 accounts who give the age data for this data request. So let's try this analysis function here. As I mentioned, that we have this regular analysis and privacy preserving analysis, and then let's see, because so far we only did this regular analysis here. Let's put in this analysis code here and then saying check first. Yeah, right, this request is existing, and I am the owner of this request. So let's do the testing. Yeah, so when I click the regular analysis, I got 2 data points here, because, well, I only used my 2 account to provide the data, and you see all the age here, which is only 2 in this testing. And then because we want to calculate the average, and the average model to calculate an average already programmed in the JavaScript, so it will show the results automatically. Okay, next we want to try to participate in a privacy preserving analysis data request. So first of all, I want to withdraw the permission here in this document before we give Chang, researcher Chang, a viewer access here. So I'm going to delete her. So now she can't see my file. Right. Okay. And this is the request ID from Chang, and it is a privacy preserving calculation analysis data request. So I want to participate in this analysis. Let's see what's gonna happen. Click participate. Oh, success. So it says that your participation is in privacy preserving analysis. Nothing has been recorded except the requested data. So for the researcher side, the researcher Chang can't see who just gave the data. But for you, for the participants, so let's refresh it. So yeah, so as participants, you can see that you just participated a data request, time and the request ID. Because, well, I think participants should know which research they give data to, right? So for the researchers who submitted a privacy preserving analysis data request, let's see if participants give their data to this data request, what researcher can see. Yeah, in the request triple file, as a researcher, as a requester, I see someone respond yes to my this one, privacy preserving calculate mean a data request here, time just a couple minutes ago. Well, this person gives age 22, but as a researcher I have no idea who gave this data, and I can't track back because this person left nothing except the requested data, but no identifiable information at all. Let's see, as a researcher, if I want to do analysis on this privacy preserving analysis, what will show there. So I still need to know the ID of that request. I put it here and then click here. Oh, I got 22 because, well, I only have 22, so the average of course is 22.